In this lecture, we will explore the remote development extension from VSCode, and for this I'm using my Windows VSCode, and we will connect to a Linux VM. I'm starting from a new VSCode window right here. I don't have any folder opened. On a regular theme, this would be a purple bar right here. First of all, we need the remote extension. So for this, you can go to extensions and search for remote development. This is the one, the remote development extension, and this is an extension pack. You'll see this currently holds 4 sub or smaller extensions. These are the ones right here, the extension for working with Windows subsystem for Linux, dev containers, remote SSH, and remote tunnels. For this lecture, I will use the remote SSH extension, but you can install all of them because we will use them throughout the course. So you need this extension to be installed, and once you have it installed, you will get a button on the lower left part of the screen. I will press this button and I will have multiple options regarding remote connections. I will select connect to host, first of all, the one from remote SSH. And I will, because I don't have any SSH hosts, I can add a new one or I can configure them. For starting, I will add a new SSH host and I will simply put right here the SSH command that we used previously with the SSH command and the username and my address. For me, this is the one. I have my username and the address of my VM. And then I will have to select a configuration file. Usually I will select the very first entry in this list right here. So these settings will be saved to a configuration file. I will save this one right here. I will open this config. Alright, and now I'm able to connect to it. I can even give it a cool name right here. Maybe I will say right here, my cool VM, like this, and I will save this file. I will close it, and now I will go again to settings. I will connect to a host, and now I have an entry with my cool VM right here. This will open a new entry right here. I will select this as a Linux connection. I will enter my password for my user. And now I'm connected to my VM. I can simply open a folder right here. So I will open a folder. And I will open the one which I'm currently working on from my work, and from this one I will click OK. And currently I am exploring my files as I would do it directly inside the host VSCode. I have all the files right here and I can open them, I can edit them, I can do whatever I want. So this is the way we can use this VSCode extension. Many times you will use a terminal inside this VSCode extension and you will want to do some operations with this. Well, usually you would do your remote host will be a limited resources machine, and from time to time, because even this VSCode connection will take a good part of its memory, you will want to maybe use a swap file if server memory is limited. You can search online how you can use a swap file for Linux, and this way, this technique will help you to take from the available memory from the hard drive of the machine and use it as RAM memory. And this way will help you, this way of doing things will help you run maybe multiple connections or more compute intensive operations on your remote VM. I will close now this connection and I will open again another VSCode window to show you something. If again from a VSCode window I will go to a remote connections, I can now configure my SSH hosts. I will open this configuration file and I can add even other options to this configuration. One very important option, or two very important options, are server alive count interval and server alive count max. I will select this server alive count interval and give it a bigger value, like 60, and maybe server alive count max, I will give it like a 10 or maybe 20. And if I will give this setting to, I will give a bigger value to this setting, then from time to time, even if the remote connection is bad or you have slow speed, VS Code will take itself more time in order to try to reconnect before giving up. These two settings are very important and again will help you while you will do your remote development.